Officers are required to learn Kendo, Judo, or another of Japan's traditional martial arts.
Hi, this is Shadi, and today I want to talk about the police disciplines. Recently I did a video about Kendo grappling and also the Taiho Jutsu, or the arresting techniques for the Japanese police. Now, mainly they train Kendo and Judo, and there's a reason for that. Not saying that that's the only thing they train. Obviously, they learn, reflexes, self-defense against open hand strikes. I'd say this is more during the Judo, because I'm sure they're not training IJF Judo. So, but when it comes to Kendo, it's rather interesting because, people are not dueling with swords on the streets or whatever, but I do believe that it needs justice, and there's a lot to talk about, and there's a lot to unpack when it comes to Kendo. I do believe there's a lot of stuff you learn in Kendo that can translate quite a lot during street fighting, self-defense, and being a police officer. First, let's talk about the fact that they spar. Sparring, whatever it may be, it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you to be strategical. It's gonna help you to really conduct yourself well and really control yourself. It's gonna help you to bridge the gap between stress and technique execution, and it's also gonna help you to be generally a more fit person. I know Kendokas talk about that this is not about fighting. We don't do this for fighting or self-defense. This is for mainly to train the body, the mind, and the spirit. And they are correct, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying that training Kendo will magically transmit itself to self-defense, because as you heard, there's also Judo and many other all traditional disciplines. But Kendo does play a role or adds a lot to the table, not to be done alone. That's what I'm trying to say. Self-defense wise, if you want to do it just to compete and have fun and really, discipline yourself, please go do so. But when it comes to self-defense, it's a great additive to your Judo, for example. The second thing, and it's the most crucial thing, is the reflex. These strikes, the way they enter all of it with the very straight body and this lightning strike, sword or shinai strikes, it's nothing short of amazing. Like when you see it in full speed, you wouldn't know who got hit, you wouldn't know what happened, you wouldn't know anything. Suddenly you see the flags are being raised and you don't know who won. And that, imagine to have this kind of reaction to this type of striking, someone lunging all of them at you, striking you. Imagine how that can translate to, just traditional strikes with open hands. Here, let's take an example. Here, they both go in. You don't even know what happened until you see it in slow motion. Here, he struck the kote, or the hand, or the wrist, and that's one of the ippons. Here, let's take another example. Again, you don't know who won, you don't know what happened, and here, this is Nishimura, I believe. Yes, and here they go in, and then they strike both of them, but Nishimura strikes him first. So here again, you don't even know what happened. They both go in. So imagine developing strategies around this fast and lightning fast, swordsman basically, and how to evade and how to counter and how to go in deep into their space and striking them or catching them for your grappling, whatever it may be. So developing this type of reflex, of course, alongside reflexes to classical striking, and I do believe they probably do that. Maybe they have karate, maybe they do self-defense against strikes in Judo. I really don't know, I'm not a policeman, but alongside your traditional striking and defenses against them, this can add a lot to the table. That's all I'm trying to say. Again, this video, I need to talk about Kendo, because the more I study it, the more I'm enamored, I would say, and it's nothing short of amazing. Now, when it comes to Judo, of course, there's not much that's needed to be said. First, you have your pins. Your top game is very much controlling a suspect, keeping them safe, keeping yourself safe, and also doing an arrest in a very controlled manner, which really avoids stuff like unnecessary, murder. Unfortunately, it happens. And also you have your stand-up. You have a range of 67 techniques, so meaning you can go from high amplitude and really lethal throws, but of course policemen are not doing that, at least the Japanese ones, to really like low amplitude foot sweeps or a foot reaping that can help take someone down in a controlled manner and keeping them safe. Again, I cannot generalize whether they're good or bad people. Please, let's leave that out of this discussion. But I'm talking about mainly of how to keep everyone safe, and also being very much mentally and physically prepared for the worst. This video, like I said, it's more about Kendo than Judo, because there is a reason why they chose it as one of the main disciplines to train their police officers, and I do believe it brings a lot to the table. Alone on itself, like I said, for self-defense, it's not the best. Again, it can teach you to be physical, also good cardio and have good reflexes, but in terms of dealing with open hand and grappling, etc., it's obviously not the best. It's very much incomplete, but coupled with something like Judo, you can create someone that's very able to defend themselves. And also, I really don't know where you guys live, but dueling with bats, sticks, etc. will surely happen, and that's when something like Kendo strikes, kirigaishi, suburi, all that stuff that you train in Kendo will surely help. That's all I'm trying to say. So if you have anything else to add, please let me know. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon. I have exclusive content for the patrons only. I post once a week there. Also, you can DM me directly, and also just suggest anything, and really just like I said, exclusive content for the patrons only. And also don't forget to check out Josh Simon's shop for articles and t-shirts. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.